Craig Chandler Price is an American serial killer who committed his crimes in Warwick, Rhode Island between the ages of 13 and 15. He was arrested in 1989 for 4 murders committed in his neighborhood, a woman and her 2 daughters that year, and the murder of another woman 2 years earlier. He had an existing criminal record for petty theft. Price calmly confessed to his crimes after he was discovered. He was arrested a month before his 16th birthday and was tried and convicted as a minor. By law, this meant that he would be released and his criminal record sealed when he turned 21, and Price bragged that he would make history when he was released. The case led to changes in state law to allow juveniles to be tried as adults for serious crimes, but these could not be applied retroactively to Price. Rhode Island residents formed the group Citizens Opposed to the release of Craig Price to lobby for his continued imprisonment, due to the brutality of his crimes and the opinion of state psychologists that he was a poor candidate for rehabilitation. However, Price was not released due to a series of crimes he committed behind bars while he was held in the Rhode Island training school. During his time in prison, Price has been charged with additional crimes, including criminal contempt for refusing a psychological evaluation, extortion for threatening a corrections officer, assault, and violation of probation for fights while in prison. He was sentenced to an additional 10 to 25 years, depending on his cooperation with treatment. Craig Price is the youngest serial killer in U.S. history. Price committed his first murder at the age of 13 in Warwick, Rhode Island on the night of July 27, 1987. Price broke into a home that was only 2 houses away from his own, took a knife from the kitchen, and stabbed 27-year-old Rebecca Spencer 58 times, killing her. A little over 2 years later, Price was a 15-year-old freshman in high school when he murdered 3 other neighbors on September 1, 1989. Price, high on marijuana and LSD, stabbed 39-year-old Joan Heaton 57 times. He then moved on to 10-year-old daughter Jennifer, who witnessed Price stabbing her mother to death in the kitchen. He stabbed Jennifer 62 times and crushed the skull of Heaton's 7-year-old daughter Melissa, who also witnessed Price stabbing her mother and sister, and then proceeded to stab her dead corpse 30 times. The stabbings were so brutal that the handles broke off the knives he used, with the blades staying inside the bodies of the victims, including a knife blade lodged inside of the neck of the 10-year-old girl, Jennifer. At the time, the brutality of the murders was mostly unknown due to Price's sealed records. According to law enforcement officials, Price had no remorse when confessing to the crimes, and as for the motive, Price himself claimed racism by white people beginning when he was a young child was a factor, and that the first time he wanted someone to die was when a group of white adults allegedly shouted racial slurs at him and tried to run him over with their car when he was a young boy. Whilst Price was in Rhode Island Department of Corrections, an officer stated, "Price has been booked twice for fighting since leaving the adult correctional institutions in Cranston." Price was denied parole in March 2009, and his release date was set for May 2020. In 2004, he was transferred from Rhode Island to Florida to serve his time due to his violent tendencies. In Florida, on July 29, 2009, Craig was involved in a prison fight with another inmate. While trying to break up the fight, one of the correctional officers was stabbed in the finger by a handmade shiv in Price's possession. In the wake of the prison fight, Price was transferred to another facility. On April 4, 2017, Price was accused of stabbing fellow inmate Joshua Davis at the Suwannee Correctional Institution in Live Oak, Florida with a 5-inch homemade knife. On January 18, 2019, he was sentenced to 25 years for the crime. Do you believe the laws should have stayed the same to give juveniles a second chance in life? Or should the key be thrown away regardless of age? Let us know in the comments.